Do you know what I like to do on Willie Mays' birthday? I like to look at some baseball cards. You know, I never told you this story before. Never told this on one of my videos. I don't know why. Maybe it just slipped my mind. But in talking to my dad last weekend, he was talking about it again. So I might as well tell it. My father, when I was born, wanted to name me Willie because he said that Willie Mays was the greatest ball player he ever saw, and he wanted to name me Willie, and my mom wouldn't let him. But my dad was a huge sports fan, still is, and my mom always tells the story that they delayed their wedding date because St. Louis was in town playing the Pirates, and my dad wanted to go. A big sports fan. And, I started playing baseball when I was, as soon as I could, in itty bitty league. I think I was 6. But I had been playing even earlier than that with my dad and my neighbor kids. Now, my dad used to tell me all the stories about Willie Mays and how great he was, and Roberto Clemente, and what a great fielder he was, and what a great arm he had, and that was important to my dad. Not just home runs, but playing defense and having a good strong arm and hustling out everything. And he told me the story about the 1954 World Series and that fantastic Willie Mays catch where he caught it over his head and he spun around and he threw back and saved a run and all this and that. And so this one day I'm playing. Of course I wanted to be an outfielder, and in itty bitty, the kids couldn't really field or do too much, most of them. So the best kids they put at shortstop, where you got all the action. So I played shortstop in itty bitty, but I always wanted to play the outfield. So when I moved up, then I got to play the outfield. So there's one day in Little League, we had this real big kid. He was like twice as big as all the other kids, and I was in right field playing, and he hit this ball into the gap, and it went to the wall. I mean, he crushed this thing. And I remember all I could think about was my dad telling me that story about Willie Mays. And so I ran over to that ball, and all I could think about was, as soon as I get that ball, I'm spinning and throwing to second. I got to hold this guy to first base. And so I did. I went in the gap. I went up against the wall. I turned, and I threw it as hard as I could right to second base. And the runner went back to first base. And my dad was so proud of me for that play. I can't even tell you. He was telling all his friends how I held that kid to a single when he hit one to the wall. And it's just such a great memory. It's such a great thing to have your father proud of you like that. Bragging to his friends. Now, I know a lot of you are doing that with your kids. Adam, Splendid Sports, sending me his daughter's T-ball videos. Because, you're proud of your kids, but there's no greater feeling than your parents being proud of you. I used to want to play in the majors just for my dad, because I couldn't imagine how proud he would be to see me. I get choked up when I watch the movie The Rookie. That first time when he walks out of the dugout, they announce his name. How incredible that must be. I got just a couple of pickups. I got a big one for me. I need it for my 1938 Gaudi set. It's the last big one I need other than the Joe DiMaggio. Think I might have to get that this year. But we'll see. But it's a Bobby Dewar rookie card. And wanting one of these and looking for one off and on for many, many, many years. And I found a really nice example. A bit of a tough card here. So I'm glad to add that. And I got a red man Sal Magley, the barber. Give you a shave. I got this for next to nothing because it has a little crease through there. Nobody wants that kind of crap. And I got this Dave Parrish, and this is one of the great hockey goalie masks of all time. Check this baby out. In the background there. Looks like a studio wrestler. WWE, WWF. I lose track. What's it called now? I don't even know. What was it? WWF when I was growing up? I think. All right. Trivia question time. I have these three Venezuelans from 1967. Here we have Jackie Hernandez. Here we have Ed Kirkpatrick. And here we have Louis Tiant. Who can tell me what these three players have in common? Ed Kirkpatrick, Jackie Hernandez, and Louis Tiant. While you think about that, I was on a live with Sammy Thunder, invited me on a live last night, and I was talking about the 1977 Topps Mexican football cards. And so this one, I saw as I was going through them, this is Ed Bradley. Now, what's interesting about him, is Ed Bradley played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what a lot of people don't know is that in the first Super Bowl they won, where they dominated on defense, held Chuck Foreman, something like 6 yards. I think they had 17 total yards rushing in that Super Bowl, I believe. And I think, it was like Fran Tarkenton had the majority of them from scrambling. So anyway, brilliant defensive performance. But a lot of people don't realize that Jack Lambert got hurt. It was his rookie season. He was the starting middle linebacker. And Ed Bradley actually played in that game. And you could see in this card, he's still in a Steeler uniform there. But he did go to the Seahawks, and he was a long-time starter for them. He knew he was never going to start behind Jack Lambert, so he moved on. But just a little tidbit of information there. So what do these players have in common? They all played for my Pittsburgh Pirates. Thanks for hanging out with me.